Auburn is on fire right now on the recruiting trail. They are cooking. Hugh and company just had a massive recruiting weekend. Their big event of the summer is called Big Cat Weekend. It's starting to trend more and more towards like a Big Cat Week. What does this mean for Auburn? Because as you sit here right now, at the time of us recording, or time of us being live on the air right now, if you're watching this back, it's a one-off video, they have a top 10 class in all of college football in the 2025 cycle. In 2026 now, they have the number 1 class. Now we're a ways away from that class having pen meet paper, but it's great to have a top 5 class in July. It's great to have a top 5 class in the fall. They have the number 6 class right now. What does this really mean, though, for Auburn? Because Penn hasn't met paper yet. These guys are committed verbally, but we've seen in the college football recruiting world that is, where we are right now, how quickly commitments can change and verbals can mean this and that, and the Hayes Fawcett graphics are flying all over the place. What I think this means right now for Auburn is a couple of things. Auburn fans, you're obviously cooking right now under Hugh Freeze. Make sure you are subscribed right here to the On3 YouTube channel, because I promise you, we will talk a lot about your Tigers. Massive year coming up for y'all. What's it going to be in year 2 of the Freeze era? We'll talk about it, all right? So make sure you're dialed in so you don't miss a minute of the coverage around your Tigers. There's college football, period. If you're a college football sicko, this is the place for you. The first is they are reaping the rewards of the legwork they've done since Hugh Freeze got there. Like last year, they won 6 ball games. If we're going to be real here, you should not recruit in the top 10 after winning 6 ball games and losing to New Mexico State. That shouldn't happen. However, talk about the New Mexico State game all you want on social media. Auburn also played Georgia really freaking close, down to the last drive. They also took Alabama to 4th and 31. And there's no such thing as moral victories in college football, but I do think there's such thing as marketable moments. And Hugh Freeze and this staff, I happen to believe, are using those marketable moments to their advantage. I think also the reason they're recruiting so well is look at the brand that Auburn is. Like this is not like some no-name school with a lackluster brand coming out of nowhere. Like this is Auburn we're talking about. That brand has always carried weight. That brand has always had a lot of juice to it. And so what we're seeing now when it comes to their success on the recruiting trail so far is the alignment from the powers that be at Auburn, Hugh Freeze just being a dog and recruiting his tail off, the staff he has assembled doing the same, and the resources behind Auburn also being willing to make it happen. And so you got to give your flowers to Auburn. You got to give a lot of credit to Auburn for the way they've recruited so far. But the big thing this means to me when we talk about Auburn in 2024 is this thing is teed up to just explode in 2024. And what I mean by that is going back to what I just said. You recruited a top 10 level after 6 wins. What can you be if you win 8 games? Heck, what can you be if you end up beating Alabama in that final game of the season? How high do you end up finishing on National Signing Day, the day that actually counts where you're ranked? I think that deserves to be acknowledged a little bit, because if they have that kind of success on the field, it's going to translate. We've said it for a long time here. I think that for everyone who's committed to Auburn right now, they're doing a great job peer recruiting, I have to believe, and a lot of those guys they're recruiting, I think they may just be looking for a reason to go to Auburn. I think you go see the Waltos, which is like a spaceship, we said. It's like a $92 million facility. It's, like less than 2 years old. You go take a tour of that place. You go talk to that staff. Like, I think you're looking for a reason to commit there is how I would feel about it if I were considering some of these schools across the country, if I had Auburn in my list of options. One more thing I'll say here. It's great to talk about what they're going to be on signing day and what they are right now. But think about the future for Auburn. Like Hugh Freeze has gotten the arrow pointing up for Auburn football, the trajectory of Auburn football in a really good place. He's been there for what, 18 months? Less than 2 years. What's it going to be in 3 years? Especially if they have on-field success. If you're able to flip it that quickly and capture momentum that quickly, that should scare the rest of college football for what Auburn can be going forward now. Because they're, 2 years removed? A year removed from 5-7? And we're already talking about them signing a top 10, dare I say, potentially top 5 class if they do the right things on the field in 2024. So keep an eye on the Tigers now. Sitting at number 6 right now at the time of us being live on Tuesday morning. When it comes time for National Signing Day, if they win at the level they expect to win at, they have the resources, they have the brand, they have the alignment, they have the head coach, they have the staff, and I think a really fun brand of football to play that could ultimately be a major powder keg for them if they end up having success on the field in 2024. So Auburn recruiting like a program. Keep tabs on the Tigers, man. They're going to be a force. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.